For months on this channel, I've told you Edmonton isn't one housing market, it's four. And they've been going in four different directions. Well, in July, for the first time this year, all four of them turned the same way, down. Sales dropped almost 8% in a single month, homes are sitting longer, and the head of the REALTORS Association went on record calling it a possible turning point for the summer. So over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see headlines calling this the slowdown, the top, the start of the slide. I read the full July report, every property type, the price index, all of it. And that is not what this is. What actually happened in July is that buyers just got handed something they haven't had in years. There's one number underneath this that tells you exactly how long that window stays open, and I'm going to show you right where to look. Hey, I'm Nathan Richter, licensed real estate agent here in St. Albert and the Greater Edmonton area, and my background's a little different. I've spent 25 years on the construction side of real estate, custom home building, renovations, and I currently run a restoration company that does new home warranty work and condo restoration. So when I read a market report, I'm not just seeing prices, I'm seeing the agent's lens and the builder's eye. Why a building type is moving the way it is, not just that it moved. And that matters a lot this month, because the segment that's cooling hardest is exactly the one I spend my working days inside. These are July's numbers. They dropped this week. Let's actually make sense of them. So here's the number that's going to be in every headline. In July, the average selling price across all of Greater Edmonton was $475,000. That's down 1.8% from June. First real monthly drop in a while, but look at the other side of the exact same number. It's still up 2.6% compared to July of last year. So in one line, the same numbers, both prices are falling and prices are up almost 3% for the year. Both are true. That right there should tell you the headline is too blunt a tool to run your decision on. Now watch this, because this is the part nobody in the headlines does. The MLS Home Price Index, that's the benchmark, the value of a typical home stripped of the high-end sales that yank the average around, that number is $429,100. And year over year, it's flat, 0.0%. So the average says up almost 3, the typical home says it didn't move at all. Same report, same month. So why the gap? It's not appreciation, it's math. The cheapest slice of this market, condos, had its sales fall off a cliff this year, and I'll show you that in a second. When the cheap end stops selling, the average of everything that's left floats up, even if no individual home actually gained a dime. That's the whole trick. The average is up because the mix changed, not because your house is worth more. And the only way to see what's real is to break the city into its four property types. Because the second you do, this market splits right open. Let's walk them weakest to strongest. Start with apartment condos, because this is where the market's telling you the most. And it's not what the price line says. On paper, the average condo sold for $214,000 in July. And that number's actually up a couple percent over the year. If that's all you read, you'd think condos are fine. But look underneath it. Condo sales were down more than 21% compared to last July. That's the single biggest year-over-year drop of any property type in the entire report. And it's not that everyone's dumping, because new condo listings were also down almost 15%. So both sides walked away at once. Fewer people listing, way fewer people buying. And they're sitting. The average condo took 55 days to sell in July. 55. A detached house sold in 35. So condos are taking 20 extra days to move. They're the slowest thing on the board by a wide margin, and the number actually changing hands is basically collapsed. That's not a price crash. The typical condo is only down about 1.5% on the year. It's something different. This segment is frozen. Nobody's in a hurry on either side. Now here's where the builder's eye come in, because the why matters as much as the number. I do condo restoration work. I'm in these buildings. I see the special assessments, the envelope repairs, the reserve fund studies that don't have enough in them, and buyers have finally figured out that the sticker price isn't the whole cost. A $200,000 condo with a looming $20,000 assessment attached to it is not a $200,000 condo. That fear is real, it's rational, and it's exactly why buyers are taking their time and sellers are staying put. The whole segment is holding its breath. So who is this actually good for? First-time buyers and investors who do their homework. This is the most negotiating room and the least competition condos have offered in years. Nobody's bidding against you, but get the documents reviewed. Read the reserve fund study. Have somebody who understands buildings look at it before you fall in love with the price. The discount is real. So is the reason for it. Know which one you're buying. Move up one rung, row homes and townhouses. And this is the one that actually took the hardest hit in July. The average townhome came in at $292,000, and that's down 3.5% in a single month. That's the biggest 1 month price drop of any property type in the report. And the demand behind it is soft. Townhouse sales were down almost 17% compared to last July, the second worst drop after condos. So this segment lost buyers and lost price at the same time. Here's my read, and it's the same idea I flagged last month, just showing up louder now. Townhomes have always been the bridge product, the step between a condo and a house, the thing first-time buyers and downsizers land on when a detached home feels out of reach. But when detached starts to cool and feel a little more reachable, some of those buyers just skip the bridge and stretch for the house instead. So the townhome pool gets squeezed from both ends. If you own one and you're thinking about selling, you're competing for a buyer pool that's thinning, and you have to price it and present it like you know that. Sharp pricing, clean showing, no wishful thinking. We'll tie this back together at the end. Third market, semi-detached. Your duplexes, your half duplexes. Now, longtime viewers remember last month, I called this one the quiet winner, the only segment where sales were actually growing. Well, this month, even that turned. Average price, $425,000, down about 1% on the year, and sales, which were climbing in June, slipped 3% below last July. So the one type that was bucking the trend has now joined it. But, and this is why I still rank semi ahead of condos and townhomes, it's the least bad of the bunch. A 3% sales dip is nothing next to 21% we just saw in condos. The demand is cooling, not disappearing. The thing to actually watch here is supply. New semi-detached listings are up more than 12% over the year. So builders and sellers are still bringing a lot of this product to market, and it's now taking 39 days to sell, where a year ago it took 28. That's 11 extra days, the biggest jump in selling time of any segment. So semi is quietly shifting from that balanced sweet spot toward a buyer's favorite setup. More choice, a little more patience required from sellers. If you're a move-up buyer who can't quite reach a full detached home, or a downsizer who doesn't want condo building risk, this is still the segment I'd point you to first. You've just got more room to negotiate in it than you did in the spring. And now the top, detached homes. This is the segment still holding the entire headline up, even though it slipped a little too. The average detached home sold for $585,000 in July, down just over 1% on the month, but still up over the year. And the benchmark, the typical detached house, is up 0.5% year over year. Now hold that next to the condo benchmark, which is down, same city, same month. The top of the market is still gaining while the bottom softens. That's the spread I opened the whole video with, and it's still here. It's just narrower than it was. And the detached isn't just holding, it's where the actual activity is. 61% of every home sold in Greater Edmonton in July was a detached house. 1,544 sales out of 2,500 total. It's also still the fastest thing on the board. 35 days to sell. So when you hear Edmonton prices are up almost 3%, what you're really hearing is detached homes are strong, they're most of the sales, and they're dragging the citywide average up, while condos and townhomes drift the other way underneath. Why does detached keep holding? Same reason it always does. And the builder in me will tell you it comes down to supply. They're not making more established detached neighborhoods. You can't build another mature, treed, central community. The land's gone. New detached supply comes on slow and expensive, out on the edges. Condos you can stack a few hundred at a time. Detached you can't. So when demand cools, detached softens last and least almost by default. If you own a detached home in decent Edmonton neighborhood, your equity is in better shape than the prices are falling headline made you feel this week. Quick thing, because this is exactly what people message me about. I put together an Edmonton market report every month. It's part of how I keep people in this market actually informed. It breaks down all of this by property type and by area, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, Spruce Grove, the city core, so you can see which of these 4 markets your specific home or the neighborhood you're shopping in is really in. Because Edmonton isn't the answer. Your type in your area is. If you want it, comment the word report below or text or email me. It's all in the description and I'll get back to you. Okay, so why did the whole market cool at once in July? 2 things are happening. And the second one is the part the monthly headline can't show. First, the obvious one, and it's the summer. Every year, spring is the fever and summer is the exhale. The board chair said it herself. The spring fervor faded into the summer months, so some of this is just the calendar, but it's more than seasonal. And here's how you know. Inventory at the end of July was just over 8,000 homes, and that's up almost 18% from a year ago. Nearly a fifth more homes to choose from the last July. At the same time, sales were down 11% on the year, and homes are taking 39 days to sell, up from 33 a year ago. More homes, fewer buyers, longer waits. That combination is what's handing buyers their leverage back, and it's the real story under the price drop. But here's the nuance that actually matters, and most people are going to miss it. Look at new listings. They were basically flat, down 1% on the month, up barely 0.5% on the year. So the flood of new listings we saw all spring, it stopped. Sellers have pulled back too. The inventory that's out there is high because it's piling up. Homes sitting longer, not because a wave of new sellers is hitting the market. That's a subtle but important difference. This is a demand pause meeting a slow seller retreat, not a supply dump. And now the builder's eye read, the piece I can give you that the monthly numbers can't. Everybody assumes all this inventory means builders are flooding the market. It's actually the opposite. The most recent hard construction data we had from the spring quarterly report showed new home starts, permits, and migration into Alberta all pulling back at the same time. There's no new, fresh quarterly printout yet, so that read still stands, and nothing in July's numbers argue against it. So put the builder's hat on. Today's inventory is mostly resale, existing owners who listed into a busy spring and are now sitting. But the new supply pipeline, the homes that would come online a year or 2 from now, is being turned down right now. When starts and permits slow, you don't feel it today, you feel it in 18 to 24 months. So the read is this: the choice buyers have right now is real. It's the best leverage they've had in years, but it's a window, not a permanent shift, because the thing that refills supply is already easing off. That's exactly why the agent plus builder view matters. One report tells you where prices are, the other tells you where they're going. Let me put one single number on all of it. Months of supply. That's how long it would take to sell every home on the market at the current pace. A year ago, that sat around 2.5 months. Today, it's right around 3.2. And here's a nice check on that math. Real Estate Association of Edmonton actually shows 3.2 on their own board this month. So the number I computed and the number they published line up. Now, under 4 months is still technically a seller's market. So I am not telling you the sky is falling, and anybody who does is selling you fear, but the direction is the thing. This market is loosening, and it's loosening fastest exactly where you'd expect. Condos and townhomes, the segments with the softest demand. Detached, where supply is naturally tight, barely budged. The split isn't random. It's supply doing what supply always does. We've gone from about 2.5 months a year ago to just under 3 in June to 3.2 now. Steady climb, one print at a time. So here's what July actually told us. For months I've said Edmonton is 4 markets, not 1, going 4 different directions. This month they finally moved together. They all cooled, but how they cooled still splits 4 ways. And that's the part that matters for you. Detached is still gaining and carrying the headline. Semi-detached cooled, but is still the healthiest of the group. Townhomes took the sharpest monthly price hit, and condos didn't crash so much as freeze. Fewer buyers, fewer sellers sitting longest. With building risk, you have to look inside to see, even though the average price tried to tell you they were fine. The Edmonton's up almost 3%. Headline is true and almost useless at the same time, because there's no such thing as the Edmonton price. There's your property type in your area right now. That's the only number that matters for your decision. And the cool down everybody's about to panic about is really just buyers getting a window. One, the construction slowdown is already quietly working to close. So before you make a move, figure out which of the 4 you're actually in. If you want help with that, grab the monthly Edmonton market report, comment report below, or text or email, and I'll send you the property type and area breakdown for where you are. And if you're actually planning to buy or sell in the next 6 to 12 months or sooner, especially if you're weighing new construction against resale, send me a message directly, text or email, or give me a call. It's all in the description, and we'll talk through what this market's doing for your situation, not the headlines. If this made the numbers make more sense, hit subscribe so you don't miss August data. It drops in early September. Supply is still climbing, sales are cooling, and the construction pipeline's tightening in the background. So the back half of this year is the part actually worth watching. We'll see you then. Quick one for the comments. Which of the 4 markets is your home in? Detached, semi, townhome, or condo? And did July's cool down surprise you where you're sitting? I read every reply.